New home sales fell 6.6% in June, well below expectations. So this is interesting. I don't think this has anything to do with a bubble being popped, because I don't think there's a bubble, actually. I think a price that jumps up quite a bit is destined to come back down a little bit, but just a little bit of a decline in sales and hopefully some prices too. I mean, facts are we'd rather have the prices level off than keep going on this freaking rocket ship. But in terms of a bubble, not there. All right, let's read my man Brian Westbury over at First Trust Advisors. New single-family home sales fell 6.6 in June to a 0.67 million annual rate, well below the consensus. Sales are down 19.4% from a year ago. They fell in everywhere except for the Midwest. I'm telling you, man, Missouri, that's where you got to be looking at. Missouri, it's there where the retirement mecca is going to be. It's going to be West Virginia and Missouri, I'm telling you. The month supply of new homes, how long it would take to sell all the homes in the inventory, rose to 6.3 months from 5.5 in May. The gain was due to a slower pace of sales and a 23,000 unit increase in inventories. The median price of a new home was $361,000. Remember, this is new homes, brand spanking new, which is up 6.1% from a year ago. The average price was $428,000, which is up 12.2%. All right, implications. New home sales continued to disappoint in June, posting a third consecutive monthly decline, which came in even below the most pessimistic forecast by any economic group. New home sales were at a torrid pace in the second half of 2020 into very early this year, but this could decline substantially. All right, so, I mean, all these inflation bugs. Inflation! Is it any surprise at all that when you have a huge run-up in something, you're going to have a come back down to normal times? Why was anyone shocked by this? And when you have a huge run-up in price, too high, I mean, everyone can admit it's too high, because whatever, BLM and COVID crap combined led to a lot of people say, I am freaking scared. A lot of hipsters. We know the hipsters who thought it was cool to live in New York City, like, I'm scared now. I got to move. Look, man, this is what happened. It just happened to be this, confluence, is that what they call it? Look, that doesn't happen all the time. So they had this huge run up, and now we're just having a coming back down. It's not a prick of a bubble. It's just like, too high. It went up too high too fast, now it's going to level off. I mean, it's just that simple. Never mind the lumber prices and all that stuff too. The prices of lumber, what happens? They don't build as much. I mean, all this it's just basic common sense. But I'm glad to see it. I like the idea that prices leveling off. As a few years from now, we'll be looking to downsize ourselves, but you'll be downsizing by selling less. I don't care. As long as I got no mortgage, I don't care, because what I'm looking for is the house that we're going to retire to, as opposed to this house right here, if that makes sense. All right, let's see. Why have sales dropped? We think for two reasons: lack of supply of completed homes, plus rapid price appreciation versus pre-COVID levels, 100%. Look for builders to ramp up construction in the year ahead, particularly once excess jobless benefits are finished and that supply and added supply to facilitate more sales while slowing the pace of new home price appreciation. Well, I completely agree with that. I mean, just think about it. High lumber cost, low, you can't find people to work. I mean, all these things are going to say, why would a builder say, I'm going to put all these spec houses out there? I'm not going to do it, especially when the prices are sky high. You'd think they would, because prices are sky high. At the end of the day, they're going to be the ones holding the wet bag if they can't unload those from their inventory. So, I mean, just think about it, man. Like, look, if I'm going to go on the market with this and I'm funding it through my own debt, essentially, or my own cash flow, if I can't move this quickly because the prices are too high and the prices start coming down, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. As such, I'm going to hang tight. Especially, I can't find people to work, and I can't find lumber that I need for a cheaper price. So I'm not going to build as much. Thus, less supply. I mean, and so less supply, higher demand, higher prices, and now less supply, lower demand, lower prices. It's just basic common sense. When the prices drop, there'll be more demand, and there'll be more supply to meet it. It's the beauty of economics. Buyers are still stuck dealing with very few options when it comes to completed homes. It's true that overall inventories have been rising and now sit at the highest level since 2008. This has pushed up the month supply to 6.3 from record low of 3.5 in 2020. However, almost all this inventory gain continues to come from homes where construction has either not yet started or is still underway. During a similar calculation with just completed homes on the market shows a month supply of only 0.6, near record lows going back to 1999. The good news is that inventory of completed homes rose for the second month in a row after nearly a year straight of declines. And while it's too early, that says represents a new trend. There are reasons to be optimistic. I completely agree, man. As we point out, builders have plenty of projects in the pipeline to meet demand and keep construction activity running on all cylinders. As for homes becoming more available, we expect the demand will remain strong and help boost sales later in 2020 and beyond. Also, keep in mind that while sales are now back below where they were pre-COVID, there's been an extreme amount of volatility in sales since. A good way to cut through the volatility and get a better picture of the health of the market is look at the 12-month moving average. And using that measure, sales remain near the fastest pace since 2007. All right. Well, that's not a good time since 2007. All right. That doesn't make me say, yay, since 2007. Is this 2000? Yeah, right there in 2007. The fastest pace since 2007. So maybe it is a moment. Again, I don't think so, but look at that. That's a huge pace. It's just, look. So they're saying right here, sales, that's a big pace, but I mean, yeah, I don't find it to be that big of a deal. All right, so we'll see what happens, but pretty interesting numbers nonetheless. It's probably going to mean more affordable homes coming, and that's a good thing. All right, we'll see you.